Uh, Welcome back to the Morning Update Show. Your host, Trae Holiday.
And Marcus Harrison Green.
Sorry, you guys. We're making it work today. We wanted to make sure that the family gets a chance to really speak on Lorenzo's behalf. And I know Donita, thank you so much. This is unbearable to ask you to be here today, but we are, I'm thankful. I'm thankful that we have this, that you did want to spread the word and get the truth out there. Lorenzo was your baby. Tell us from your words what you experienced and what happened here.
I experienced pain, to be honest. You guys, this is not a game.
Take your time.
Yeah.
Take your time.
This is not a show, you guys.
Right.
This really is my son.
Express yourself, honey.
I just want justice, that's all. Just to be honest, I just want justice.
Yeah.
I want you, every last one of you medics. I want you mayor. I want you, every officer. I want everybody that signed a HIPAA law saying that you are a medic, that you will save a life. I want you to be accountable about my son. You sat on a corner and you waited for a response, and my son could have been alive. I'm an advocate for youth, so I know what you're supposed to do, and you didn't do it. And this is not a game. This is not a rally. This is not whatever the hell chop. So there will be justice. And somebody will answer. So
Yes. Thank you, Donita. Thank you. I don't know if you want to speak. I know that one of the things that we saw in some of the recent reports, just trying to make sense of this and connecting his life and his death to Chop. And I really wanted to hear from you guys. She was telling me he wasn't down here like that. Please explain that and help our viewers understand that he wasn't connected to Chop in that regard.
Lorenzo definitely wasn't connected to Chop in no way. I guess he was just with some friends. And as Lorenzo having a big heart and at the same time having an understanding for his friends, he's always been a protector. So knowing that he became a victim is really sad to us. And he just wanted to help his friends, you know what I'm saying? And he got caught up into something that's way out of our control, and we didn't know that this was going to happen, you know? So, yeah, we're grieving, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we want to get some understanding because his life could have been saved. And just senseless killing, it didn't make no sense. And you're in the Chop. We're all supposed to be protected. We're all here for Black Lives Matter. And a life to be taken inside is devastating. So,
For those who didn't know him, could you just share a little bit about Lorenzo, the kind of person he was?
Lorenzo was Lorenzo was a great uncle. He loved his nephew. He was determined to always be there for his family. He is a protector. You know, that's any man. You know what I'm saying? But he definitely loved his family. And at the same time, you know, he just graduated this year. His teacher's here, you know, and he's always been a great kid to me. You know what I'm saying? He's been wonderful. It's just I'm just sad. You know, I'm not his biological dad, but this is my wife, and I'm talking on her behalf.
Yeah.
And I just want to make sure justice is served because this didn't have to happen down here like that, you know. And, yeah, it's something that we all need to come in terms with and let everybody know. And I want to give a message out to these youngsters out here that, you know, we all know who you are. You know, we just want you guys to at least turn yourself in, you know, because it's senseless, man. What was the purpose of that, you know? But Lorenzo's a great guy, you know, always smiling, always upbeat. It was just, You know, he's to us, we used to tell him, you know, them are your friends, but you got to learn how to not follow the wrong crowd.
Yeah.
And this is what happened.
She was saying that before, you know, that, you know, people wondering, oh, was he a gangbanger or something like that? She like, he wasn't out there like that in those streets. He wasn't gangbanging.
Just
and
following the wrong crowd.
Yeah.
Wrong crowd at the wrong time, and this is the outcome.
And he was not out there like that. I think it's really important for the viewers to hear that, and for the viewers to know, and to hear from you guys, you know, to give us some insight here, because I think a lot of the time the rationalizations happen very quickly, right? And people assume a lot of things very quickly, right, Marcus? I know that.
And the stereotypes, right?
Yeah, you get stereotypes. Quickly, yeah, and it's good. I'm glad that you guys give us a stage to let you know what type of guy Lorenzo was, and he was really trying to be a man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He was still a teenager that lost his. It's crazy. You know, he did everything his mom wanted him to do. He graduated, he loved basketball. Not even that. He liked rapping, and he just a kid, just being a kid. You know what I'm saying? It was just it's senseless that this happened. You know what I'm saying? And what's so crazy about it is, like, just all kind of support been coming at us, and people been sending us video of what happened, and we got clear video, like, and I'm letting these youngsters know, like, you guys need to turn yourself in.
Yeah, can you talk a little bit more about that, about the community outreach and how the response and how people have been coming to, to support the family?
People have been coming to his visual, constantly to support him, even his family. His whole family been there, you know, and although you know, they're angry, but they're trying to get understanding, like, what was the purpose of you know, hurting our cousins and our nephew, you know. And the uncles is so upset, they don't even want to be up here because they want to control their anger, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And which any family would, you know. Yeah. My wife, she tried her best to speak to you guys, but she's, you know, mom's love is deeper than we can ever imagine.
And it was only 3 days ago. That's I can't imagine. I can't imagine at all.
That's what I said to her off camera. I literally said, you know, Donita, the fact that you're even here today, it just speaks volumes to her really wanting the truth to be out there. And again, to dispel the myths, because a lot of the chatter happens and people pick up on the chatter and they believe the chatter. So I just thank you both. I thank you for staying in her stead. I thank you both for being here today. Marcus, I thank you too for being here and for speaking to them yesterday and just getting an understanding so that we could understand and know how to bring you guys on, because we understand the sensitivity of this issue. And you look, y'all are family to me. You know, Donita is definitely family to me. Definitely. So I just, you know, my heart is with you guys. I know that we have some other representatives who really want the audience to understand who Lorenzo was. And so we're going to go to a quick break right now and hopefully bring on another representative who can share with us, you know, a great piece about Lorenzo. And I just, you guys, if you guys actually understood how many people are here on Lorenzo's behalf today, you would understand that this young man touched many lives in a very positive way. Yeah. So thank you again for coming on today and for staying in Donita's stead, and thank her as well for just giving us a little bit of time that she could. We are so appreciative to get the truth out.
And continue to express our hopes and prayers and well wishes to you as well.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yes, thank you. You guys stay tuned. We'll be right back.
I'm a young black man doing all that I can to stand. Oh, but when I look around and I see what's being done to my kind, every day I'm being hunted as prey. My people don't want no trouble. We've had enough struggle. I just wanna live. God protect me. I just wanna live. I just wanna live.
Welcome back to the Morning Update Show. I'm your host, Trae Holiday.
And I am Marcus Harrison Green.
Yes, and right now we actually have a couple of Lorenzos teachers on who also want to share with us a little bit more about Lorenzo's life. We have Rubio and Berger. Thank you guys so very much for joining us. We know this is a hard time for anyone who loved Lorenzo, obviously, as much as his family. Thank you for being here. Please share with us a little bit about your life and your time with Lorenzo.
Yeah, thank you for having us. I definitely, after hearing the news, felt compelled to come down, to pay my respects to Lorenzo, to honor his life in some way, because what I remember from him, he was a full human. You know, he was somebody that, of course, had a lot of challenges, a lot of things society had put on him to keep him from being successful, but he fought through a lot of it. And his determination to come every day full of life. I mean, he could have come every day because of what's being thrown at him. He could have come every day and been angry and he wasn't. He was a happy kid, full of life. He'd come in the morning, Mr. Rubio, what's up? You know, just full of that life and zest, and wasn't coming in either to just be social. He was serious. He came in to also get his work done. He understood that there was an importance to education for him, for the betterment in his life. And he showed it because, yeah, I'm here, I have a connection with these teachers, but I'm here for my future. And he was like, Mr. Yu, okay, what's the next thing I got to do? Can I say that? Okay, what's the next thing? Am I done? Hey, no, I need another thing. I was like, well, I mean, you can take 5 minutes. No. Give me another one, Mr. Yu. Give me another one. I don't got time. I got stuff to do. I got to get this done. And so what I saw from him was, you know, we often talk about kids need to have grit. Kids need to have this like resilience, but they have it. It's built in them. That's how they've been. That's how they've gotten here. And he showed it, and he didn't give up. And he graduated. He finished. You know, he officially finished. And to see all that potential and that love he had for his friends, his community, his family that he talked about, to see it cut short, to see it unfulfilled, it's heartbreaking. It's a testament to the failure of this system, of the education system. That although we work for it, we work within it, and there's only so much we can do, and we need to think about how to his life, his tragedy, make me think of how can we reinvent this,
right?
Reinvent it all,
yeah,
to positively impact the lives of black children.
Yes.
What would that reinvention look like?
I mean, that is something that, you know, we've started that process in a lot of ways, where we work with, you know, bringing in other agencies to work with children, not just the academics. But then that's not enough. Yeah. That's school is only so much. It's only so much part of their life. And it's also, what are we teaching them, right? Like, it's also when can we get the appropriate curriculum, the appropriate to teach the whole being, and not just math, arithmetic, and reading, you know, or arithmetic, reading, writing.
Right, but
like,
a holistic
approach with a curriculum that reflects them, not
culturally
just
responsive. Yes,
exactly. And we say all those words, culturally responsive. We say all these buzzwords, but I don't think the funding comes, the money comes to make that happen, to actually make that happen.
And Berger, I know that you had your, you know, time with Lorenzo as well. You know, we want to hear from you as well. You know, what did this tragedy, as soon as you heard this, what were you thinking in terms of, man, Lorenzo, the young kid that I experienced? What were you thinking?
God, for me, I bumped into Lorenzo about 3 or 4 weeks ago. So the first thing I went to was just seeing him out in front of the Fred Meyer, and hugs and smiles and catching up and asking about how he's doing and congratulating him on his diploma and telling him how proud I was of him. So for me, it was just disbelief. It was because I'd just seen him, you know. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that was it, you know. And then the rest of the day was just spent crying and talking to everybody. So
obviously.
Yeah, reflecting. Yeah.
Yeah, and reflecting. Yeah.
Can you share a story that really just epitomizes Lorenzo?
Okay. Yeah. Pretty early on when he came to our school, like he and I were starting to connect, and I wanted to make him feel welcome. So it was kind of like, hey, it's time to like start doing some academics. We spent time just getting to know the students, you know, and like whatever. And so I'm like, do you want to read? Do you want to write? And he was like, oh man, I got so much to say. I was like, here, this is your composition book, markers, make it your own, just do it. And he, in 30 minutes, I think, had written 3 pages, single-spaced.
Wow.
Just, and he came back the next day, he's like, can I write some more? I'm like, dude, just do it. Just wrote. And then we sat down and talked about it. And then like and so that kind of became like, yeah, our early kind of thing that we did together, so. Yeah.
You know, that's the thing. I think that education provides the platform and the model to really make it what you will. When you take away a lot of the other things and you break it down to just building relationships with your students, it feels like that's really the perspective that you guys both came from in terms of really building, getting to know who they are as people so that you actually can teach them in that kind of holistic way, that holistic approach. It just sounds like both of you guys did that in your own right, even without the system being there ready for you.
Yeah.
He one last thing is he also wouldn't, you know, he wouldn't just take what I would say, and I loved it, and I want it like, oh, just because you're the teacher, it doesn't mean you're right. And we challenge you a bit. Oh yeah, we had debates, and we had debates, you know, and you know, and I would say, you're right, Lorenzo. Don't just take my word for it. You're right. But here's some articles. I think it was a debate around vaccines. He was really interested and passionate about vaccines. And so it was a lot like, well, here's some articles. What do you think about this? Well, just, okay, I think I need to, you know, study a little more science because it just doesn't make sense. Injecting the virus, wouldn't that get you sick? You know, he was very kind of aware and just, not just because you tell me
right,
it's good or whatever, that necessarily means. And that's, you know, that's sometimes what in education we tend to quell.
Right? That critical thinking aspect.
Critical thinking aspect. And maybe because we don't agree with what they're saying or whatever, we quell it rather than letting the student arrive there through that process. And he, you know, I wanted him to keep going through that questioning process, because that's you know, often education devolves into, you know, talking, you listen, and that questioning, the back and forth debate is what he enjoyed. He enjoyed it.
That.
We had some debates. People pop in their heads and we're like, "Are you guys fighting?" We're like, "No, we're having. This is funny. We're laughing.
Right.
We're having a great argument. You know,
you're learning from him just as much as he's learning from you."
Exactly.
Amazing.
And it was really good. And that's the life. That's what I remember from Lorenzo.
Well, we thank you guys so much, both of you. I loved hearing your approach too, just like getting to learn the students before you try to teach them and pummel a bunch of information into their heads. That's a new approach as well that I think the broader education system can learn from, because a lot of the times it's not built into the format of just let me understand who's in my classroom right now so I can know a better approach to them, and you know, I can break through that wall and that barrier that sometimes is put up. So thank you guys both for giving us some insight.
Yes, I wish I had teachers like y'all growing up.
Thank you.
Agreed, Marcus. Thank you guys so much for giving us some insight into Lorenzo. I think it's so important for our audience to understand and to learn and to know, because again, we're talking about the beginning, right? So a lot of chatter. We just thank you guys so much for letting us know how special he was to both of you.
Yeah, thank you for letting us share about him.
Absolutely. You guys stay tuned. We'll be right back.